Family and friends pray for the safe return of South African soldiers trapped in DRC's war. When and how do they come home? A malaria warning after rains in Limpopo. And an amazing South African discovery of Inazo, a galaxy 30 times bigger than Earth's Milky Way. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
Some of the families of the South African soldiers deployed to war-torn Goma in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo say they're incredibly worried about their loved ones and wonder if they'll make it home. Caroline Kodom from Saron in the Western Cape says her nephew is part of the South African National Defence Force contingent in DRC on a UN peacekeeping mission.
We just want the South Africans to pray for our soldiers, for their safe return, and also let the government withdraw the soldiers and don't send any more troops to the DRC.
The Department of Defence says there is no truth to claims that South African soldiers there have run out of ammunition. Speaking on the sidelines of the Cabinet Lekgotla in Pretoria, Defence Minister Angie Motshekga says generals in DRC have not communicated they're running out of resources.
But we are also speaking to all other forces like Angola, because Angola was responsible for the peace talks. So Angola also is being brought in. There's also discussions which include Rwanda, because it is alleged to be also one of the big perpetrators, and that's why we're keeping communications with them.
Emotional scenes outside a court this morning. It's after 12 men accused of hacking 5 people to death in Inanda, north of Durban, returned to court. The group, arrested 2 weeks ago, has applied for bail at the Ntuzuma Magistrates Court. They were apprehended just hours after the lifeless bodies of the victims were discovered with multiple hack wounds, one of which had an arm severed.
The 12 accused murderers are back in the Ntuzuma Magistrates Court to apply for bail. They face 6 counts of kidnapping, 1 count of attempted murder, and 5 counts of murder each. The state in the matter says it's not opposed to bail. It adds that its witnesses have been moved to an undisclosed location. The accused are expected to take the stand during the bail application. While court proceedings continue, a group of community members are protesting outside, demanding the group be released. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, Ntuzuma.
Police in Mpumalanga say more arrests are imminent in relation to the torching of at least 51 Putco buses on Monday evening. 2 suspects have been arrested in connection with the arson attack. A group of assailants stormed depots in the Nkangala district, setting buses alight and damaging infrastructure. A security guard was shot and wounded while 2 employees were injured during an assault. The bus operator has blamed the violence on ongoing tensions with the taxi industry over routes.
During the arrest of the suspects, one of them was found with a mobile phone suspected to be that of one of the victims, as well as an empty magazine for a 9mm pistol without any ammunition.
Putco says it's hoping to provide a fully normalized service by Friday. Health advocates have warned that the Trump administration's funding freeze for HIV/AIDS organizations in South Africa will have devastating consequences.
For instance, in Cape Town, we have seen the Greenpoint Clinic of Inova Health Institute, known as the Ivan Toms Clinic for Men, has closed down. We've seen transgender clinics from the Wits Reproductive Health Institute in Hillbrow closing down.
Milan says the lack of access to life-saving medication makes patients more vulnerable.
Mainly, clinics dealing with men and with transgender people have so far closed down in South Africa. That means that those people can't go and get their treatment, people can't get testing that they normally get, and science shows us that if you interrupt your HIV treatment, if you have HIV, your immune system becomes weaker again, and you are very vulnerable to falling ill with illnesses.
Residents of Limpopo have been warned about a possible increase in the risk of malaria transmissions in the province. This follows heavy rains there over the last few weeks, which the department says has created a breeding ground for mosquitoes.
We also want to encourage the public to play their role in preventing the spread of malaria by allowing malaria control personnel to spray their homes, use insect repellent regularly, especially in the evenings.
City Power says more than 300 households listed under the Johannesburg Social Housing Company have had illegal electricity connections stopped. This is part of an operation to ensure the power utility is able to monitor revenue collection from its paying customers.
Following the violence that were basically starting to brew around here, we decided as City Power and Joshko that we are going to abandon the operation. We've met with the leadership here on site and agreed that we should meet.
Resident Bongani Nkabinda says it's become unsustainable living there.
At least there was supposed to be an education campaign first before they come and install those meters, because a lot of people, they didn't know that there's going to be deduction of administration. I don't know what administration for. And if you buy electricity of 100 rand, they're going to take out that 50 rand. And then it's still that 50 rand that you're left with is going to be taxed. So a lot of people, they were feeling like City Power is robbing us.
The Gauteng department is calling on parents to complete their late applications for learners in grade 1 to 8. The deadline for late applications is tomorrow. The department says it has placed more than 32,000 learners in schools across the province.
It must be noted that the late applicants who applied online received immediate placement upon completing their application. That is why we were saying these ones would not even be on the waiting list or things like those.
A troublesome blip has entered our visual world, the Inazo Galaxy, 32 times bigger than the Milky Way. South African telescope has discovered it, and this one is a little different from its cosmic counterparts. The plasma jets of this cosmic giant span 3.3 million light years from end to end. Getting to the bottom of the physics of it seems to be quite a challenge. Don't forget to download the EWN app, and we'll see you for more again tomorrow.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.